What's going on, guys? This is the Edge DFS. We are live. New Year's Eve. Thanks for hanging out with us. My name is Tyson Smith. I'm joined by Ellie Hernandez. We're talking Showdown. This is our second NBA Showdown show. Suns visiting the Jazz. Ellie, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Had the day off work, so it was kind of weird adjusting to not, working all day. Got to spend a little bit more time getting engaged into the early slate for NBA, which treated me nice. But overall, it's a pretty good day. My fiance is cooking some tacos, so I'm going to go eat well after this. How you doing, man?
I'm not doing bad, man. You got a drink? You got a drink? I mean, it's freaking New Year's Eve. Come on.
Yeah, I have two. I have two ready to go. I got a backup.
All right, good. That's what you want. So how are your main slate lineups doing, bro?
I'm fighting for my life.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, my cash builds, that's probably the best description there, right? What happened to Evan Fournier, whatever.
I don't know. Does anybody know? Anybody in the chat know what happened to Evan Fournier? He was in my cash lineup, and that's pretty much dead for at this point.
Yeah. Well, the good news is I faded him in GPP, so now we just have to rely on GPP to win me back all my money, right?
I know, right? That's how you do it, right? All right, guys. So we really appreciate you joining us here. Showdown show is kind of interesting for NBA. There's no one really doing that, so bear with us here. This is only our second show. We're trying to figure everything out and figure out what you guys like to see and hear. So let us know in the chat if there's anything we're missing, anything you guys want to see. But we changed our structure a little bit from yesterday. What we're going to try to do is we're going to start building lineups by 8:30 Eastern. So it leaves us about 30 minutes to just kind of take our time building lineups, answer questions, chat before we get to lock. So it'll be a little bit smoother this time around. So Ellie, do you want to just jump right into it and look at some of these Vegas lines here?
Yeah, let's do it, bro.
All right, let's see here. All right. So Phoenix is 3-1. They're on the road in Utah. Utah's 2-1. Both of these teams pretty good this year. Looks like minus 164 odds for Utah. It's really interesting seeing the money line odds here compared to like NFL or that kind of thing, because I'm used to them being so crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now it's pretty straight up chill. But so what jumps out to you here? I mean, we have a 219.5 over under. This may have changed slightly over the last hour, but I think it's pretty close. I didn't have time to update it if it did change, but it's a -4 spread for Utah. Phoenix absolutely crushed their last time out. What are your thoughts on this matchup? I think is Phoenix getting a little bit forgotten about here? Is Utah that good, or is this just a matchup thing? Both these teams are relatively slow paced. So what are your thoughts on this matchup?
I think this is going to be a fun game to watch. It should be a competitive game overall. I don't necessarily disagree with the Vegas odds here, and Utah is the favorite here, and it makes sense to me, right? Utah is a playoff team. They made the playoffs last year, and
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs.
And bear with us, guys. If you have I before I get too far on this, if you guys have links to any cool sound bites or funny shit from the NBA, let us know. We obviously have our all of our NFL stuff, but we're gonna keep using that because Denny Green and Jim Moore, they're funny as fuck. But anyways,
Talking about practice.
That's the only NBA one that I'm aware of at this point. I'm sure
Yeah,
there's better ones out there.
and Kawhi laughing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So anyways, back to the Vegas lines here. I really think that this is pretty accurate. Phoenix has been inconsistent. I understand they were 8-0 in the bubble. They're 3-1 right now. But this is a really young team that's anchored by Chris Paul. You got some talent that they've added on, some veteran leadership that they've added on, and some of these other guys, right? But again, they're still learning how to play together. Utah is pretty solid overall, right? They've been playing together for a while. Mike Conley is obviously a vet. So I think Utah is absolutely the safe bet here. So yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting, but I also think it proposes or gives you some opportunities for leverage, just going a little bit heavier on the underdog.
People out there in the chat world, am I all fucked up? Is my video all fucked up? It looks fine to me. I don't know. What do you think? It looks fine here, right? Are you seeing me? Am I all weird, Ellie?
Yeah, a little bit. Not bad, man.
People don't want to see me anyway, so it's all good. We'll just do it to the side here.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to watch us specifically. They want to see the shit that we have.
Exactly.
Bookie says you're fine. That's sweet.
Bookie says that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm fine as in good looking? All right.
I don't think that's what he meant, but I'm going to take it that way.
All right. So what's next? We want to look at injuries. Actually, there are no injuries to really talk about here. Who was like, hang on a second. Let me pull this up here. There was somebody who was like probable. Where is he? Oh, they changed it. I think it was it Royce Freeman or was it Royce Freeman? Royce
O'Neal.
Yeah, wrong guy. Anyways, they were probable, but they're going to be playing. The only really injuries that we need to talk about are Abdul Nader and Jalen Smith. They're out. They've been out for a minute. So not really anything to worry about there. Maybe some more Campaign and Cam Johnson minutes, but these are things we've already seen, so nothing surprising here. Let's move on to the starters. Let me share my screen here real quick. Let me get this set up. So let's go over to the starters. I don't think there's been anything official yet, right?
No, I haven't seen any official starting lineups coming out, but these teams are fairly consistent with who they like to run with.
So it's hard to see here. Sorry about that, guys. But Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, DeAndre Ayton, Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, Bojan Bogdanovic, Royce the 5'9", and Rudy Gobert. No surprises here. I don't anticipate any differences, but we're here. We're live. If anything comes up, we'll let you guys know right away. We've got our phones on. We got Twitter up. So we'll go from there. So, Ellie, do you want to just get into this shit?
Let's fucking do it.
All right, we're going to break this down here. It's going to be pretty quick. Nothing too crazy. Let me share my Excel sheet here with you guys. Open this. Forgive us, guys. Bear with us a little bit here. Share screen. While you're waiting for me to pull this up, throw us a like. We got 15 likes last night. Our goal was 20. Get us to 20 likes.
Let's do it. I think we can do it.
Let's do it, man. All right. So you guys, let's see. Are you seeing that? Okay, cool. All right. So Ellie, what do you want to talk about here? You want to just go over pricing here?
Yeah, I mean, let's look at the pricing versus the projected minutes. I think that's going to be the most important thing that's going to balance you out here. Who do you like over here?
So look, we got Devin Booker at 9,800. He's the most expensive guy in the slate. Donovan Mitchell 9,200, Rudy Gobert 9K, and then you drop down to DeAndre Ayton at 8,600, Chris Paul at 8,200, and Mike Conley at 8,000. So basically, these guys here are these are really the only guys I'm considering a captain, I think, tonight. And we're actually, when we get into our captain segment, our Crown the Rest segment, we're actually going to tell you, I crunched out a ton of lineups with every one of these guys in captain. And we're going to give you some numbers to show you kind of the differences and, which are better tournament plays, because we don't have ownership for this. So, Ellie and I are trying to figure out a way to project ownership on our own. It's going to be a little bit of a process. We'll probably take a little bit of time to get to that. But for now, we're going to just crunch a shitload of lineups out and try to give you the ceilings, the top projected lineups for every captain. So let's look at projected minutes here. Obviously, our top guys here, Conley's been doing pretty great lately, which is surprising because last year I was not high on him. He was just kind of a failure. I think he stepped it up there towards the end of the season. But if we look at Rudy Gobert here, he's pretty much the top fantasy points per minute guy tonight. And we're only talking a few games. So you got to take this all with a grain of salt here. These, over time, these numbers are going to even themselves out. But for right now, he's been doing pretty good. 1.39 fantasy points per minute. And Dario Saric is 1.29, but he played 14 minutes, I think. last week or last game coming in off the bench in his first minutes of the year. So what jumps out to here about fantasy points per minute and projected minutes? Royce O'Neal is projected to get 31 minutes, but his fantasy points per minute is very low. I think he's just typically, historically, a very low fantasy points per minute kind of guy. So anything jump out to you with minutes for lower price guys besides Royce O'Neal?
So I'm on Add More Funds, and I'm kind of comparing these projections to the projections they have over there. And I'm glad you pulled that up. No spoilers here, Mr. Amos. No spoilers. Yeah. We'll get to that in a second here. I think you'll be happy.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a pretty good option there.
Yeah. So no spoilers. But anyways, yeah, man, I think somebody that really sticks out to me is Dario Saric again, right? You called that out at 1.29 fantasy points per minute. I understand it's a really small sample size, but he has the ability to get those. He plays really well, really good defense, right? He's got those that stock upside. So that, and he's a 3-point shooter, so he gets that half point bonus when he nails those shots. So
and look at that usage too, 26.4 when he played in those 14 minutes. And one thing to consider with Dario Saric is he's probably going to be the guy. We'll look at rotations here in a minute, but he's, if Ayton gets in foul trouble or if Ayton's, on the bench, Saric is going to be that guy that most likely comes in for him. So that's a nice little, if you wanted to get fancy with your building, fade Ayton and play Saric in a few of your lineups. And that could be just a direct pivot off of Ayton, right? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, personally, I'll probably end up playing both because I love Ayton too. I think Ayton's in a great spot, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But kind of while we're on this, I do want to call out one other thing. This is another interesting play. I don't know if this is going to be too earth shattering as far as analysis goes, but Jordan Clarkson at 24 minutes and 1.15 fantasy points per minute. He's nicely priced. I definitely think that he'll be viable as in the flex position. So he's another one of those guys that I'm really looking at to kind of get there tonight. And then just kind of to Mr. Amos's point here, it doesn't have to be even at captain, but Rudy Gobert, he's going to get the minutes, and his fantasy points per minute are insane right now. He's quietly fucking balling out. I mean,
yeah, no, for sure. He doesn't have as high of a ceiling, Gobert, in my opinion, and we could see it here. His ceiling is what? 38 is what I'm seeing. So that's kind of interesting. His ceiling is low.
He has 3 performances against the SUNS over 40 points.
And I don't understand that ceiling. That doesn't make any sense to me because pretty much every game this year he's scored over 40. So that's wrong. There's something weird with that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Fantasy Cruncher. Anyways, but his ceiling earlier before I updated it, I think was at like 44, 45. And that seems pretty realistic. And I think a guy like Gobert is a lock for cash or single entry in the flex or at captain. I like him more in the flex, in my opinion. But at that price tag at 9K is pretty nice. Pretty nice. So one thing to think about here is Jordan Clarkson. He wasn't popping in the optimizer. He just wasn't. I had to force him in. I got a shitload of Joe Ingles and Royce O'Neal, like always. Like, every time I play with Utah, they just want to jam in Joe Ingles, and I don't want anything to do with that. I ended up with 15, 20% of Ingles, and that's me trying not to get him. So one pivot, if you're playing large field tournaments, one pivot instead of Ingles, go with Clarkson. You're paying up for $600, but I feel like I'm more confident in Clarkson actually having a ceiling game, and that's exactly what you're looking for here. Right? We don't want these dudes to hit their median projections because Joe Ingles is a median projection king, but it doesn't mean anything if he's getting you 21 fantasy points. We need the Jordan Clarkson ceiling games, which for whatever reason they're his ceiling is 22.6. That's obviously based on this year, but we know this dude can go off. We know that's not his true ceiling.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I don't give a shit about Royce to 5'9" or
what's up, bro?
Fucking Laura Ingles, right? I'm not a fan of them. They're great for cash games, right? Because they're gonna pop an optimizer simply because of their projected minutes. And even at 0.85 fantasy points per minute, you're gonna have a decent safe floor. So that's why they're gonna pop there. I love fading them at I love fading them in GPP. I'm with you on Jordan Clarkson. Keep in mind that he is still a name. He is still pretty popular as a 6-man player. So in deeper GPPs, he probably will come in, 25% owned.
But check out his usage there off the bench,
that's insane.
So he's the guy running that second unit. He's going to get a lot of those shots. And at 1.15 fantasy points per minute, if he gets over 25 minutes somehow, man, he's a great play. Chaz, what's up, man? Chris Paul at captain. Yeah, just wait for it, my friend. You just wait for it. Spoiler alert. We're going to get to that in 1 second. Like I said, we're going to try to start building lineups at 5:30 or 8:30 Eastern. So stick with us. Ellie, what are your thoughts on some of these dudes like Cam Johnson, Cam Payne, from the Suns, Mikal Bridges? Mikal Bridges is priced up a little bit now because the secret's out on this guy. He's the man. He's going
to get 70 minutes.
Yeah, he's going to be in most of the game here. So when it comes to Mikal Bridges at 7,400, his fantasy points per minute is under 1 so far this year. He's not necessarily a scorer. He's going to come in and lock down the best offensive player on the opposing team. That's his job. Can he get you there at 7,400? I'm more likely to kind of fade Mikal Bridges just because of that price. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think he's a pretty solid play on FanDuel. See, we're learning, guys. I think he's a pretty solid play on FanDuel because he may not have the offensive upside, but those steals and blocks are worth more. So if he comes out with 2 or 3 steals, I mean that's 6-9 points automatically that you get for him, right? So that's a pretty safe floor. Depends on the pricing.
So let's talk about. No, sorry, go ahead, bro.
No, like one thing I do want to call out though is we got to pay attention to the pricing on the slate. We don't have a guy that's over 10,000, so the usage is going to be concentrated in these top guys. But you are probably going to have to leave a decent amount of salary on the table to make sure that you're staying different from the field in large field GPPs. That we're talking entries of over 5,000 or more.
Yeah, we don't have ownership, like I said, so we just got to kind of figure it out and use our best knowledge to figure out who we think is going to be the highest owned. Who do you think will be the highest owned tonight?
Excuse me, out of all these guys?
Out of everyone, in just generally overall.
Probably Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, and I think maybe Gobert too, because look, Booker has not been doing well this year. You look at that fantasy points per minute. The Suns have been doing well despite Booker just kind of hanging out, His usage is up there. He's got the ball in his hand. But if you look at his standard deviation for the beginning of this year, it's pretty low. He's not having, he's having relatively middle of the road performances across the board. And, his ceiling of 48 fantasy points, that is not an accurate ceiling for him. We know this dude can score you 60, 70 every night. We're just waiting for him to actually go off, right? We're waiting for him to go off. It's going to happen. We know it's going to happen. When is it going to happen? And if you have him in captain when he goes off, you will win. That's the bottom line.
I think the Suns are still figuring themselves out, right? I mean, having Devin Booker's had to be the center point of this offense and this team for a while now. So having CP3 there running the show, I mean, now he can just be a superstar. Hey, nice job though, winning at least, right?
Yeah,
it's hard to get different.
And it's hard when you don't have ownership. It's easier with NFL Showdown. We have ownership. It's their island games, but for NBA Showdown, we just have to make our own best guesses. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to just figure out a way to just guess at least guess ownership,
and then
I can kind of figure it out. Oh, fourth place. Nice, dude. Nice.
What was your lineup, bro? Was it FanDuel? But anyways, you can type in the chat.
Anyways. Gobert feels overpriced on DK potentially. Like I said, I like him for cash and single entry. I'm gonna avoid him, me personally, and this is what you'll see here in a minute. Me personally, I'm gonna just fade him for tournaments on Draftkings. Right? I mean, that is a strategy. So tell Ellie, like we gotta fade one of these guys. There's 5 or 6 dudes that are all right above 8K. We're gonna have to fade one of these guys. We got to take a stand on NBA. You can't just be 40 or 50% across the board and hope to win. You got to take a stand at like 100% on some of these guys, don't you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you want to get real crazy here, I mean, you can decide to fade the trend. Mike Conley and Chris Paul, they have the highest standard deviation, so they're going to be more popular in GPP simply because they have a higher chance of, or they have more volatility, right? So you're probably going to get a median to low score, but you have the opportunity to have a ceiling type game. So I would expect those to kind of normalize, right, as the season goes on. And then we would expect a similar type of output from Devin Booker, right? He's having these 15 to 20 points outings, right? And it just means he hasn't had his ceiling game yet. So I expect his ceiling to come pretty quickly. So although I'm fading, kind of that narrative tonight, I do think you're fine kind of looking at one of these guys hitting a ceiling game, even though they've been kind of underperforming all year, because it's exactly what you were saying, right? These guys are way too talented. CJ, Melo, Cantor, PG, Kawhi, Serge. Hey,
Nice.
Holy shit, man. That's a great lineup.
We talked about CJ a little bit too, but yeah. Nice.
Cantor
All right.
over Nurkic was huge.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So anything to talk about here on the low end? I mean, can we get to anybody under 4K and feel good about it? Like Langston Galloway came in the first quarter. Here, you know what? Let's look at something real quick. I want to look at rotations here. Maybe we can find one of these guys. Langston Galloway came in and hit a 3 in the beginning of that game and disappeared the rest of it. I think he scored 5 fantasy points total. So we got to figure out, can we even bother going that low? Or with the pricing here at everyone under 10K, maybe we just stick with the middle range. We don't have to go with anybody below Derek Favors, maybe. I mean, even Favors scares me a little bit. I mean, he's projected for 16 fantasy points at 17 minutes. I don't know if I will like Favors either, because I just don't like his ceiling, and his usage isn't there, you know?
If I end up entering multiple lineups, I'll probably have one with him just because he'll probably be like 8% owned. And Derek Favors will have one good game in like 40 years, but it does happen.
Yeah. So let's look at the Suns rotations here. Let me pull this up. So let's look at, this is from addmorefunds.com. This is, free, but you can sign up for a monthly. I think it's $10 a month. You can get a lot of this information. You can download this stuff. So let's look at this here. So we've got, where was Langston Galloway at here? So it looks like Langston Galloway came in at the end of the first quarter, into the second quarter, and then he was garbage time. So he got 11 minutes. Who else can we even consider playing from the Suns? That's, this is all garbage time here. If you look at this area here, this is all garbage time. This is basically TNT just told the Suns fans to go fuck themselves. And I think they switched to news or some shit. They were on national television. They're like, nah, this game sucks. Let's move on. But like, who can we trust on the low end besides Saric?
Yeah, it looks like Saric, Cameron Payne, and then Cam Johnson. Those are really the 3 guys that are really built into the rotation here. I'm pretty much if you cut off everything after the fourth quarter, you can kind of see what the Suns were trying to do with this rotation here. So
Saric is the guy, man.
Yeah, Saric. I mean, look at those minutes, right? And that's he was what? He was sick, injured. I don't know what the fuck's going on with that guy. But this is his first game. Was it his first game back?
Saric is his first game. He had 14 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, look, to be worked into the rotation like that, I think he's solid.
Yeah. All right. So who can we actually go with? Bookie, you fucked that up, man. Who can we go with from the other side here? See if this will load. From the Jazz, if we're looking at the rotation from their last game, small sample size here, but looks like Joe Ingles is getting a decent amount, 20 minutes. Clarkson with 25 minutes. Who on the low end can we trust? Like, I just don't think we can go below Derek Favors even. Like, let's look at Favors. He's so spread out. I mean, a little chunk there, a little chunk there, a little chunk there. That scares me. I don't want anything to do with that. He got 11 minutes in that game, and he's projected now for 17. I think that might be, that might be a little bit much for him, right? Do you like Favors?
Yeah, but look at that usage. So at 11, I mean that usage is going to get you there at 17 minutes. So he's viable if that kind of usage trend keeps up. And while I have this up, I mean, check out fucking Royce to 5'9" and where's Joe Eagles at? Yeah, I mean 15%. Those are some joke level usage. Rudy Gobert doesn't matter because he's going to get the boards. But
look at Clarkson here. I mean, look at Clarkson. There's a big gap. He's got 2 giant gaps here, and he's running the bench. He's the number 1 guy that's coming off the bench. 25 minutes, 25% usage. He had 16 points. He was +5, and he ended up with 25 DK points. But on Showdown, that might get you there. At that price tag.
And here's the thing: is he can close too. So it's not always going to be that starting 5 that ends the game with.
You're right.
If he's hot, if he's hot, they'll leave him in to close the fourth quarter. Like he can play the full fourth quarter sometimes. Anyways, I like Jordan Clarkson. I think he's a great and viable option. All right, it's 8:27. What do we got? We got to get to fade and captain. Huh?
All right, let me transition here. All right, so shit, hang on, sorry. Oh, you know what? This is what we need to show you guys real quick. Actually, I'm going to do the captain crunch with our captain. How about that?
That makes sense.
So let's go to our fade of the night here. Let's work through technology, sharing my screen. All right, fade of the night.
What's your name? Tony! Fuck you, Tony!
All right. Ellie, tell me about your fade of the night. Man, that's blasphemous, dude. Are you a Suns fan or not? What the fuck?
Yeah, man, but at the same time, I'm also a money fan. And look, I think Devin Booker is going to kind of relish in the moment and understanding that he has people around his team that can play now, right? I really think he's going to let his team kind of just work around him so that he can find his role. I know I'm speaking very abstractly here, but everybody knows he can go drop fucking 70 points, right? Everybody in the NBA knows. I think he wants to know if he's got people that can shoot on the perimeter with him, if he can go out there and get 4 fouls and have to sit for the third fucking quarter. That they're going to stay in a close game. And it's still early enough in the season. They're 3-1 that I really think he's going to ride Chris Paul and kind of let CP3 take over control of the offense and work him back into the game. So that's where I'm at right now. He's going to go off probably now that I went through that whole fucking spiel. But I don't think it's tonight.
So look, it's only fitting that we send out 2020 by fading Rudy Gobert, the guy who single-handedly started this whole mess that we're in right now.
Yeah, Mr. for real. Look, everybody wants to talk shit about it, but everybody's got their own opinion on this. But nothing happened until the fucking NBA got canceled. Literally, the video of him coming around. I licked the mic. I touched the door. It's his fucking fault.
It's his fault. So, you know what? In honor of Rudy Gobert and 2020 ending, I got to go Rudy Gobert. And not only that, I'm playing tournaments. I'm playing larger field tournaments, whatever the largest is out there for these showdown slates. They're not very big, but they're big enough that I need to be different in some way. And I think Rudy Gobert is going to be relatively popular because of his price. I just don't like his ceiling. For single entries, give me lots of Rudy Gobert. But for tournaments, I'm going to say, you know what? F this guy, man. I don't like him at all. Anything else to add to that?
Nope. You're good, man.
All right. So let's go to our captain choice here.
Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass.
We're crowning their ass on DraftKings. Look at this. Ellie, you've got Rudy Gobert as your captain choice, and I'm fading him. Look at the diversity here. Go ahead. Tell me about it.
Yeah, man, I just think he's in a smash spot. Don't get me wrong. I love DeAndre Ayton as well. I just think Rudy Gobert's got the defensive upside, and DeAndre Ayton does not have any defensive upside. His upside is that he's going to go score 40 real-life points. Yeah. If he plays defense, then he's probably going to end up with 3 or 4 fouls, and that means we're going to have Frank Kaminsky playing defense against Rudy Gobert. It just seems like too much of a smash spot for me, so I'm just going to go with him tonight.
I feel you, man. Chris Paul. So look, Chris Paul is projecting really well tonight, and on the main slate he's projecting pretty well as well, right? Ellie, when you were doing your research for main slate, he was kind of popping a little bit, right? A little bit of ownership to him. for Paul.
Yeah, it was more of his pricing too. It kind of a balance out there, but yeah, I do like Chris Paul.
His ceiling is relatively high. His price is great. And when I crunched out all these with Chris Paul, it seemed to me like I got the best lineups with Chris Paul at captain. All from when it comes to top projected points, when it comes to ceiling. And I think with ownership, it's going to be relatively low too, because you probably have the fourth highest owned captain in Chris Paul, and one of the highest ceilings on the slate if he gets going. So that's just something to consider. My favorite guy is Chris Paul, simply because of roster construction. And look, we just haven't seen him go off yet, and you know it's going to happen along with him and Booker. Maybe this will be the day. You put Chris Paul in the captain, Booker in the flex, and both of these guys go off. You get a lot of assists from Paul to Booker. What a world that would be, right?
I mean, look, this should be a competitive game. Both teams are pretty decent. So if it is competitive, yeah, CP3 can absolutely get 10 assists, and he could also play the entire fourth quarter. So, I mean, if this stays close and CP3 and Devin Book have to run the entire fourth, then yeah, I definitely think it's viable.
All right, so real quick, let's look at our numbers here. Let me switch over to that slide. Let's look at our numbers for captain. This is going to be, you guys can make your own decision on who you want to play at captain, but these are some of our overall favorite captains. And let me pull this up. Sorry, guys. Ellie, tell the audience just a little bit about what we're about to show them here.
Yeah, guys. So we ran about 250 crunches per captain to see who had the highest projection, lowest projection, which group had the highest ceiling, lowest or highest floor. And then let's see, what was the last one? Yeah, and then the top projected minutes. And
yeah,
it just gives us some insight into what's going to be a little bit more safer cash play, what's going to be a better GPP play, right? If you're playing cash, come over here and find, one of these lineups with the 166.4, right? Those are probably going to be the safest there, because you're just looking for the raw point total. You don't need that guy to hit 95 fucking points. So, and that's what it gives us here. And who was your favorite captain when you were looking at this, dude?
So for GPPs, the most interesting thing here. So bottom line is I crunched out 250 lineups per captain, which is all these guys on the left. Highest projected points is the sum of that lineup and the highest projected lineup for that captain, if that makes any sense. So to me, Mike Conley was the most interesting tournament play. If you look at his ceiling, he has the highest ceiling for his lineups. And he also has the top amount of minutes. So basically what that means is at his price tag, you're able to fit in the flex the most amount of minutes down there, which is important. We want a lot of minutes. Now, look, you're talking about a difference of 3 minutes potentially between him and the Chris Paul lineups, which is not a huge deal. But you get an extra 3 or 4 fantasy points out of that. That could land you in first place. But the key here is Mike Conley is boom or bust. He has the lowest projected point total for his max lineup at 206, and you're talking 5 off the optimal with Devin Booker, which is interesting. He has the lowest, and he also has the lowest range. So you're talking about totally tournaments here. Yeah, he has the lowest low lineup and the lowest high lineup, but his ceiling is high. So look, try Mike Conley for a few tournament lineups. He's probably going to be like 2 or 3 or 4% owned in the captain. So do 2 lineups with him and see how it goes. But for me, Chris Paul is just sort of the middle safe. His floor is low, which is fine because I'm playing tournaments. He has a relatively high projected points, and his ceiling is the second highest. So Ellie, what pops out to you here? Like, this is just showing this is a visual explanation of exactly what we were saying with Rudy Gobert. He's more of a safe cash play. He's not. I don't know that he can necessarily. Him at captain is going to blow the socks off of anything in a tournament, right?
Well, yeah, man. That's where I disagree with you. I think Rudy Gobert. Excuse me. I think he easily puts up 45 fantasy points tonight.
Yeah,
he hasn't done that this year, so I think that's what's accounting for his lower projection and some of the the fucking math we're getting for him. Which makes him a little bit more interesting to me. Now, if we could figure out some decent projections here, Because honestly, Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell, they've been being touted by Osmo and Roto Grinders all day.
Yeah.
For the main slate. So I'm curious to see if that impacts their
Probably.
ownership tonight.
Probably.
But I mean, even one of our viewers said that the Gobert feels way overpriced, right? So I think that might shy people away. He's not the 7,100 he is, or whatever the fuck it is on main slate. So that's going to impact stuff. But honestly, let's see what we can build, dude. I think we can kind of figure out from there what our decisions are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so before we get going on the build, throw us a like, guys, really quick. It takes one little button smash. It really helps us out. We're trying to get up to 25 likes. Throw us that like. We really appreciate it. We're going to move on to our lineup build. So, Ellie, you have that up? Ready to go? All right, let's switch to you. Cool. All right. So who do you guys want to build with first? Like, based on that information we just showed you, what is the first lineup you guys want to build with? Anybody throw it out? Chaz, Mr. Amos, Eric Bookie, Jesus. Who do you guys want to see in captain in our first build? Right now, actually, go ahead and just start with Gobert, Ellie.
Cool.
See what we get.
So we're at 7,300 per player. You want to see Chris Paul? Yeah, we can do that too. All right.
So maybe fade Aiden in this one, right? Don't you think?
Hell no. Hell no.
Not gonna do that? Okay.
Absolutely not. All right, look, man, I'm sticking to my conviction here, right? I want to fade Booker.
I agree with you. But is there a situation where you have to go out of your way to fade Ayton? If Gobert goes off, is Ayton in foul trouble, or does it even matter?
It doesn't matter, man. DeAndre Ayton does not play defense.
Yeah, you're right.
If he does foul out, right? But I think that just gives Rudy Gobert a higher ceiling. So I do think that there is a build that you can do without Ayton, but this is more of a conviction play on my part. I think we'll do one without Ayton after this.
We'll build Chris Paul after this, guys.
Okay, cool. Yeah, everybody wants to see that.
So are you specifically going 4-2, 3-3? What are your thoughts on 3-3 or 4-2 here? I think we probably got to go 4-2, don't we?
I think 4-2 is going to be the safest way to go. If you want to enter a large field GPP, this should be a competitive game. So I think 3-3 is going to be pretty chalky. But this right here, man, this is going to be my core when I'm building. And then I may pivot off of it. But I think who should we go next? I think we go Suns.
Yeah, let me pull up. I think you gotta consider going Saric, Campaign, Cam Johnson. You got to go with one of these lower price guys.
Oh, I already got Saric in there. I was just waiting for you to say it, man.
Sorry, I didn't see it. Yeah, so that's good. So what do we got? 2 Phoenix. It's a 2-2 right now.
We got 73.50 left per player.
If we're fading Devin Booker, just put in Chris Paul.
Chris Paul. Okay.
How much you got left?
This. I know that's not a.
I know, dude. That's exactly what I was gonna say to you. I was gonna say Jordan Clarkson, man.
It's not a. It's a 3-3, right? So that's it. It is impactful, but this is the important part. We're leaving 1,100 on the table, so I don't think anybody's going to be doing that necessarily.
With the chalky captain, you're going to want to leave a little bit on the table. We all know that. So let's continue. Yeah, I like this. I like this lineup a lot, actually. Nothing wrong with that at all. So let's just dissect this a little bit. You got Clarkson off the bench. You're going to get all those bench minutes. That's the one thing that really sucks about NBA is when your starters go to the bench, you're just dropping. You're just dropping. Overall, just dropping. And you're like, what the hell? So it's nice to have a little Clarkson action off the bench when Mitchell and Gobert are out. You got Saric off the bench. So you have a little double stack there, a little Saric versus Clarkson action when everyone else is sitting on the bench. Let's build with Chris Paul.
All right. Actually, give me 1 second. Can you talk for 1 second? I'm entering this lineup.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bear with us, guys. Like, we want to share our thoughts, but we also want to win money. So
yeah, exactly. So let's see here. So Chris Paul at captain, 12.3K. He's at 8,200. It's going to be a little bit easier to build, in my opinion. Let me actually look at my exposure here. I've got how many captain lineups do I have? I got 13 out of 21 lineups. I've got 13 Chris Paul lineups at captain, 7 Mike Conleys, and 1 Donovan Mitchell. And Donovan Mitchell is my single entry.
So who do you who do you want? So I got Chris Paul locked in at captain there. Who do you want to see in this lineup? You said that you're still high on Devin Booker.
Yeah, I want to do Paul and Booker.
Okay.
I want to do Booker in the flex. I want to run it back with Donovan Mitchell.
Okay.
And then we're going to have to figure out, let's see here. Let me jump back to the stream. What does that leave us with? 6,200? All right, so we got to go with like a guy like Saric, Campaign. What do you think, Ellie? What do you think here?
Let's throw in Saric. I don't want to be that guy, but I like him. I like Campaign too. I think we can try this same build with Campaign after this, though.
Let's see here. Saric at 4,000. Derek Favors, Royce O'Neal. I mean, it's hard to avoid Joe Ingles and Royce O'Neal. It's just always so hard because they're so low priced. What does that get us if we throw in one of those guys, Ingles or O'Neal?
Ingles leaves us
9,900. So can we get Gobert?
Yeah.
So this is an interesting option. Actually, instead of Ingles, can you go Clarkson?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I like that lineup a lot.
Yeah, there you go. That's a high upside right there. Chris Paul and the captain. It allows you to get Booker, Mitchell, and Gobert in the same lineup. If you wanted to, let's say, what if we switched out Gobert for Ayton and see if you can go up from Saric? $4,700. Who can we get? Not Ingles. That's fine. It doesn't really buy us anything. Royce O'Neal.
Well, what if we do this?
Unfortunately, we can't stream the game. I can't even freaking watch this game, right? Is national TV? I don't know. I'll have to look up where the hell to find this game. Unfortunately, we can't stream it though.
6,100. I mean, if you wanted to come out,
Crowder,
you could.
Damn. All right, that's a 5-1.
So
look,
I want to
hey,
do
man, shit happens. But yeah, 4-2 is probably safer for sure. Chris Paul, Booker, man, that's a good lineup. All right, who's next? Who do you want to build with next? Let's build with our GPP boy Mike Conley and see what kind of lineups we can get.
Yeah, thank you, because I'm trying to hand build one right now. All right.
NBA TV. Even when I was paying for the league pass or whatever, any game that was on NBA TV, I couldn't even watch. Like, I don't even know how to get NBA. I'm a freaking millennial, man. I'm just fucking on Netflix and that kind of shit. I don't have cable. I moved out of my house and stopped paying for cable.
Yeah. We don't promote piracy, but All right. So Mike Conley
just had a conversation about this with our buddy Bookie, Eric Bookhammer here. Yeah, I totally hear you on that one. That would be nice.
Is this?
There we go. Yeah, dude, Zoom us. Yeah, exactly. Our buddy back in Phoenix, Eric Bookie, can Zoom us from local TV.
Bro.
Yes. How else? Anybody else know how to friggin' watch this shit? Because, like, dude, I pay for the NBA pass, right? And then I can't watch any Los Angeles games at all. Like, there's two teams, and we're in the same division as my favorite team, the Suns. If they're playing LA, I can't watch those games even though I'm paying for it. It's insane.
Can you tell me if this lineup sucks?
Oh, shit. I'm sorry, dude. I'm not even fucking paying attention to this shit.
No, I'm pretty happy about it.
Oh, dude. I love that. All right. I got to enter this lineup here. Do we have time?
Yeah. Well, dude, we got 15 minutes. I got to see if I can look at my account, though. All right.
Oh, shit. You know what? Damn.
Let's see. I'm going to reserve 2 more.
All right. We got a lot of... All right. Here we go.
Okay. So
yeah, it's so stupid. NBA TV won't let you watch it if it's a local team because I don't have Spectrum in LA. I have to specifically... Anyways. Dofu Sports. I'll have to check that out.
What the
It's on
fuck
the
is
App
that?
Store. I've never heard of that.
Dofu?
What's Royce to 5'9"? Can you put can you do a lineup with Royce? Like do a 8 and captain and put Royce in the flex.
Yeah, for sure.
Upstream, thank you guys. No ads. Fade Aiden. I'm not fading Aiden at all, actually. For me personally, it's just with some of these builds that we've come up with. The Chris Paul captain allows you to get Ayton and Booker in the flex, and I did that a decent amount. I don't think I had every single lineup with both of those guys, but I have every single one of my lineups, or actually 17 out of 21 has Ayton in one way or another. Yeah, I feel you, man. I'm high on Cam Johnson. These lineup builds, we can't put every single player in.
Oh, it's throwing me. I like that. DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker, Royce to 5'9", Cam Johnson, and then we need to go. What do you guys want? Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah, I'd say Mitchell. Fuck Gobert.
8,700. I mean,
8,700. Damn, that's not bad. Chris Paul, do Chris Paul.
Hell no.
Right,
I know you're leaving a lot of money or 700 on the table, but this is a 3-3. I think you're leaving enough on the table to be unique. Look, this scares me just because he's a safer cash play.
I don't like Royce at all.
He's going to be around 25% owned just because he's 4,200 and he's got the minutes projections.
So
right?
Chad, focus on Royce in like smaller tournaments and cash and single entry. I just don't like him in GPPs. It's just not my favorite. Now watch, he's going to be in the fucking optimal lineup for the GPP tonight. Watch.
I mean, the thing about him and Ingles is they're 3-and-D guys. So, they definitely have the upside, but that they don't have the usage. So they pretty much have to shoot like 80%.
There's situations where Ingles, he'll be in the game and I just need like one rebound from him. And he won't touch the ball. He literally just won't even touch the ball. I hate Ingles because he's that guy that can get you 35 fantasy points randomly, but mostly he's getting you 19 to 25. So Goober at captain. We've just built one with him a second ago. That was Ellie's favorite captain. So let's do another one, Ellie. You want to do another Gobert?
Yeah, fuck it.
So we're going to get into – so, look, we've got 11 minutes to lock, guys. Make sure you guys have your lineups in. If there's any tournaments open, make sure you're reserving those and entering them.
Open, yeah, I'm over here reserving while we're talking.
Okay.
All right.
I made a mistake last night. Actually, one of those lineups that we built actually did pretty well last night.
Yeah, bro. I mean, one thing that did happen was, first of all, I got the score pretty much inverted. It was essentially 128 to like 106 the other way. So that was shitty. But Rod Hood, he ended up with like 3 more fantasy points than Anthony Simons. Now, yeah, which is interesting. But I mean, that means Anthony Simons finished at like 0.2 fantasy points per minute. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, that again, I still stand by my conviction there. I mean, if you got a guy who's projected it, the 15 minutes and 1.3 fantasy points, I'm going that guy every time. But yes, I think it was in the opto.
Oh, really? All right, guys, get into your questions here. We've got 10 minutes to lock. Hit us up with any questions. We're going to stick around till after lock to chat about ownership and things like that. So stick with us past lock here and hang out with us for a little bit longer. Gobert, Booker, Mitchell, Ayton. Oh, shit. Look at that. 4,400. You're going to have to go way low, huh? Can you get it? Dude, actually, Langston Galloway, man. I'm not telling you guys to play Langston Galloway. I'm just saying, like, if you want a flyer on a dude that could get hot and get you, 12 points off the bench and maybe 2 or 3 rebounds and 2 or 3 assists, that's the guy that I'm looking at because he can get hot. But it's a very, very risky play.
So in this particular lineup, I'm not sure that I'm going to get there because, look, we got 6,700. And then it leaves Jake Crowder, Campaign, Jordan Clarkson. And I don't know if I'm comfortable leaving that much salary on the table.
So there's no reason to get down that low, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah. So let's see. 3,500. Well, I mean, there might be a reason to get that low. Right? So we don't have a guy between those two prices. So
build this lineup, dude. Rudy captain, Chris Paul.
Say that again?
So do you see the comments here? So, you can't. Okay, my bad. So put Rudy at captain. Put Chris Paul in the flex. Mike Conley. Ayton. Clarkson. And Crowder.
Hmm.
207 projected.
207 projected. That's not bad.
I like it.
Yeah.
If that's the winning lineup, shit. I should enter this shit. Any other questions, guys? Hit us up.
I see Josh Johnson with that comment. Man, I thought it said Joshua Jackson at first.
Oh yeah. Wow,
fuck it. Mighty Ducks.
Showdown. I wish these showdown slates were bigger. I really do.
Sorry for the silence here, guys. We're fucking gambling.
Here. There we go. So you're not listening to complete silence here?
You're gonna fall asleep.
Quarter jukebox. All right, I'm gonna do that. Why not? All right. So Gobert. All right, Joshua. Win us some money here. Win everybody some money. Chris Paul, Conley, Ayton, Clarkson, and Crowder. All right, I'll win $15 in this contest with that if I hit first place. All right.
Hey, bro. Off a quarter.
Hey, man. It's all about return to ROI, man.
Yeah.
All right, so Ellie, anything else you want to talk about here? We've got 7 minutes to lock. Anything about, let's see. Oh, Clarkson captain. Yeah. I didn't run any with Clarkson at captain actually in my tests.
You convinced me.
I bet you can fucking fit everybody in there. He'll be 0% owned in captain too.
I do want to say that this is definitely a cash viable build as well as a GPP build, simply because you have a very, very high floor. So just call that out.
Yeah, I feel you.
Just do it this way here, right? Is there anybody else you guys would like to see instead of that? I mean,
100.
Say that again.
Wait, do that again. Let me see that. Ayton 5,300. Oh, let's see. Cam Johnson. There you go. That's great. Booker, Mitchell, Gobert, Ayton, and then you could switch out Ayton or Gobert with CP3 probably, and then go up from that, right?
Oh, what about Mike Conley?
6,300. Jay Crowder.
Jay Crowder, yeah.
I love Jay Crowder.
Or let's see, CP3, 6,100. Hey, Jay Crowder. Okay.
There you go.
Campaign's not awful. It's still a 4-2, so we probably want to go closer to yeah, I think I mean that's interesting. For sure. We don't have any Boyan. So
yeah, we don't.
That does scare me a little bit just because Boyan has so much three-pointer upside.
Yeah.
But again, him and his brother are weird, man. They're either hot or they're just not fucking making shots.
So one thing that really pops out to me is based on the GPP target, some of the best plays when it comes to, if we're looking at more of ceiling projections, because you're going to need to hit your ceiling in Showdown, obviously. And we're not talking 75th percentile. We're talking maybe, a little bit under that. Not a true ceiling. But if we adjust the projections slightly to hit that, it looks like Chris Paul is the closest to hitting, just from a projection aspect. His GPP target of 51. And you got Joe Ingles, who's right there as well, and Royce O'Neal. So that's why I think they're going to be a little bit more popular, because I think they're just going to pop a little bit more.
So I kind of like this lineup right here.
Booker, Saric, Ayton, Conley. Yeah, there we go.
I mean,
there we go.
2,300. That's a lot to leave. You can still throw in Crowder, Payne, Cam Johnson. Oh, let's see.
Chaz, are you rocking this? You're rocking Draftkings now, right? Because I know you're usually on Fanduel, right?
Fuck it. Let's throw in campaign in this one. I doubt that's going to come very, very high owned. All right. Oh, I accidentally entered into a higher dollar contest than I intended to.
What'd you do? Like $1,000? $1,000 head to head?
Yeah, my account laugh at me.
Yeah,
All
with one of the Chipotle brothers.
Yeah, fuck yeah. So is anybody actually running FanDuel? Why not?
Let's do some Fanduel lineups for you guys. Screw it.
Yeah, I actually have $1 to play over there, so they give me some cool money.
It's 3 minutes to lock, guys. 3 minutes to lock. Hit us up with any other questions. Throw us a like if you don't mind. We appreciate that. We're going to be trying to go live for pretty much every day that we possibly can when it comes to NBA Showdown. There's really no one else doing this, so throw us some support. We appreciate it.
All right, let's see.
FanDuel, huh?
Yeah, dude, I haven't done this
So
shit.
what is it? It's a MVP and star.
Yeah, MVP is 2x, star is 1.5, pro is 1.2. All right, so let's get this shit done correctly. All right, I want to keep my range of outcomes pretty tight when it comes to MVP, but the other two I'll be a little bit more open on. Let's just see what this spits out for us here.
Yeah, I feel you. The only time I ever play FanDuel is if they give me something free.
Rudy Gobert came in 85%. Fuck it. I'm submitting this shit.
Rudy Gobert at MVP.
Yeah, Rudy Gobert and MVP. Devin Booker, Ayton.
I don't think you have to fade Gobert. I mean, I did, but if you're not comfortable fading Gobert across the board, just don't put him in captain, and that's already gonna or MVP. You know, that's already gonna make you pretty different, I think. Blazers versus Warriors. Hell yeah! Is that a 7 p.m. Pacific? I'm I'm all about that. Ellie, you want to do a little Blazers Warriors tomorrow?
Blazers Warriors. Hell yeah, that's gonna be
That's really fun.
Show. That's the kind of game I like to gamble on.
You can plan on Oubre missing 16 wide open shots and getting 4 dunks.
Right, but you can also, I don't know. That's gonna be a shit show. That's gonna be a funny.
I totally agree with you on FanDuel Showdowns. Totally agree with you. Love the Showdowns. Yep, same here.
This isn't bad. Gobert, Mitchell, Ayton, Cam.
I just don't like how there's only 5 spots. I know that it's differentiated with the MVP, Star, and Pro, but it's just, especially with NFL, I refuse to even open the app for NFL Showdown on FanDuel. I won't even do it.
What's crazy is I actually won my most in a single contest in FanDuel for NFL.
Me too.
Yeah, dude, I don't understand how you don't have a guy that just sits there and hey, fucking Devontae Adams scored a touchdown, add 6 points.
Dude, it's so easy.
How did they take a whole goddamn day to get that shit fixed?
Bro, I literally on Twitter, I was like, if you want me to type, I'll manually type in the stats. Bro, I already have an Excel spreadsheet up ready to fucking do that. It's not that hard. Just type in the fucking receiving yards. It's not that hard.
Bro, I could have done tallies and gotten the points done quicker than them. I don't fucking get it. All right.
We are locked, guys. So hit us up with whatever contest you're in. Hit us up with the ownership for some of these guys, if you don't mind. Stick around with us for a little bit longer. Most of these shows, they get the fuck out of here when lock hits. We want to actually see what the ownership is like and talk about some of these lineups here.
All right. Jordan Clarkson, 33%, 2% at captain. Booker, 70%, 12% at captain. Donovan Mitchell, 67%, 11.5% at captain. Ayton's only 50% owned, man, at 7% captain. Conley 45, 11%. And Campaign is 10% owned.
Oof. I would have went higher on him. Yeah, Clarkson seems like the guy that's popping on the lower end or middle range. CP3 13% captain. That's a little higher than I thought it would be, to be honest. Yeah,
24%.
Rudy is probably the highest. What is Rudy Gobert's captain?
24.
Yeah, he's definitely the highest. What about where's where is that? Where's Booker? Where's Booker at?
1 second. Aiden's only 6.5% captain.
Ooh, that's good.
Jay Crowder's 37% owned, so that's not terrible.
Unfortunately, don't have the link. I'm gonna have to figure out how the hell to watch this game. Of course, NBA doesn't make it easy on you. Sarge only 8% in utility.
I can share a link that I can't share on this stream.
Hit us up in the DM. Hit Ellie up in his DMs on Twitter. I'm sure he can hook you up.
Yeah.
So Sarge 8%. That's insane. That seems
nobody gives a shit about the Suns. Like they don't, and I get it. This is a defensive team, right? They're playing. But
they're 72% overall and 22% in the captain in my tournament. Ayton around 50%, but only 7 in the captain. Yeah, that's insane. That's crazy. All right, Ellie. What else, man? What else is going on? Chat, hit us up if you have any last minute questions here. We're gonna do this again tomorrow night. You guys want to join us? I'm sure it's probably at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. So hang out with us on New Year's Day. And are you saying Royce is 50% owned? That's scary. Jorge, unfortunately, I don't have a link to this. Do you? I mean,
just send me a message on Twitter. I'll send you a link.
Jorge, look up AdubsKing24 on Twitter. Hit him up. He'll send you a link.
Thanks, Josh. See you tomorrow night.
Thanks, man. Thanks for the subscribe. We'll see you guys tomorrow. %38 for Royce. That still feels a little high for him. You know what I mean? I just don't like that. I would have unchecked him completely. What scares me is Ingles. Anybody know what Ingles? So here, check this out. Jorge. I'm going to go full screen there. AdubsKing24 on Twitter. For me, it's Tyson J. Smith 1. You can also join our Discord, which is in the description of the YouTube video. That's free. We can, talk all the shit we want. It's a private account for us, so hit us up in our Discord as well. All right, Ellie. Final score prediction here.
I'm going to go with 115-112 Phoenix.
I'm going 120-109 Phoenix. And no, it's not because I'm a homer. I just think that the Suns are playing well, playing with a chip on their shoulder. I think Chris Paul has a big game today. And I think this is also a game that we see Devin Booker finally hit, 30 points, real life points. So anyways, guys, we appreciate it. Send us, throw us a like on your way out. Helps us out a lot. Helps us out with the algorithm on YouTube. But thank you, guys. We will see you next time. We'll see you tomorrow, actually. Warriors and Blazers. All right, see you later.